Hi, my name is Megan Melton, and I read the story Where the Wild Things Are. It is written and illustrated by Maurice Sendak. It is about 40 pages long, and I would say children from pre-K through 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade would enjoy reading this story. This is a fun story about a little boy named Max who has a very wild and vivid imagination. And he starts out the very beginning of the story by walking in, and he is, let me get there, sorry. He is, well, you can see he's very mischievous, and he already is trying to build a fort to get away. But he's wearing his wolf suit. But in the process of wearing his wolf suit, he scares the dogs, the cats, the parents, everything in his sight. And so that is what gets him sent to his room, is his outbursts and scaring things. And Mom says, "You're going to bed without supper," basically. But that's not where the story stops, because this is only the beginning. As he is in his room, a jungle begins to grow. And it starts off with a few trees and the vines. And what I want you to notice through the story is as Max's imagination grows, the illustrations become bigger and bigger and bigger until you'll see here in a minute where it takes up both pages just to show the process from here he is to where he is going. And so now right here, Max's room has turned into a complete jungle equipped with an ocean and a boat. And this is where his journey begins to where the wild things are. And he's greeted, as you can see, the pages are getting a little more detailed and the drawings are becoming a little bit wider. The wild things greet him with mean faces and gnarls and sharp claws, and Max finally says to be still. And when he says that, the wild things kind of become under his command. He uses what he calls the magic trick. And the magic trick causes all the wild things to begin to listen to him. And as you can see, we are now 2 full pages of picture. His imagination is full and big. So Max orders the animals that they're going to run and tromp through the forest and play outside and swing through the trees. All these fun things that Max is excited to do. At this one point, he's on top of one of the wild things, and he is the king, and he's telling them what to do, where to go, and what he wants to do. Then he comes back to his little tent and realizes, I'm kind of lonely here, and he begins to smell something that smells really, really good. So he tells the wild things goodbye, even though they really don't want him to leave. And he continues his long journey back across the ocean and back into his room. And if you'll notice, what he was smelling was his supper left, sitting right here neatly on the table. And what's cute, the story ends by saying, and it was still hot. I love this because it shows the imagination that a child can have. What's neat about this book, is it takes place in 2 different settings. You have the setting of Max's room, and then you have the setting of where the wild things are. And the illustrator's colors and shapes add detail to the setting. Using the different hues of color gives the pictures almost like a 3-dimensional look. The illustrator uses what's called cross-hatching in all of the illustrations. This technique shows the shadows and the shapes. And as Max's imagination progresses, the pictures begin to progress as well. That's what you could see as we went through the book, taking up both pages to see what is going on in the book. What I like about this story is that it shows the imagination of a child, this fantasy world that only the child can create and be a part of. Nobody else is in it, because nobody else can understand really the details of what the child is thinking. And in the beginning, the story the pictures are small, or Max's imagination is small, by running through the home and just kind of terrorizing the dog and all those fun things, and then grows and grows and grows with the pictures as Max's imagination gets bigger and bigger. I think this story would be fun to use in a classroom because it shows children that it's okay to use your imagination, that an imagination is a good thing to have. It's what makes life fun and playtime fun. One thing that you could do in your classroom that I love to do is to allow children to reenact things. So you could have children, one child as Max and one child as the wild things, and let them kind of play together and interact together and let Max lead them through the jungle. Or you could make puppets and let the children reenact the story by using their puppets. Thank you.